A day after President Trump offered Canada a month-long reprieve from tariffs on goods covered by the North American Trade Pact, he's threatening a new disruption to the system. Trump said in the Oval Office today he's considering imposing import taxes on Canadian lumber and dairy products, and that his reciprocal tariffs might come sooner than April. Meanwhile, Canada is bolstering its support for businesses and workers as it becomes increasingly clear this trade war is far from over. Tessa Bennett has been following these tariff developments for us. Tessa, what are the big takeaways as the week comes to the end?
Manisa, Trump's tariff plan has been changing day by day since it came into effect on Tuesday. And today he made his intentions of taxing even more Canadian products clear. Despite the delayed start date for certain items, Canada's federal government is leaving most of their countermeasures in place.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products. 250%. Nobody ever talks about that.
This week has seen the back and forth of numerous policies under President Trump's tariff crackdown. And one thing is for sure, Canada is not out of the woods yet. Tuesday's blanket tariffs of 25% were quickly walked back, with Trump granting U.S. automakers a one-month pause, followed by a delay for Canadian and Mexican goods that fall under the umbrella of USMCA.
There'll always be changes and adjustments. It's just a little bit of a one-month reprieve. They're very happy about what's happening. They won't have to go across borders, and you see the zigzagging. You have a fender made in Canada, you have something else made in Mexico. We don't want that. We want it made here.
And today, the president made more amendments to the original plan, threatening new import taxes on lumber and dairy products from Canada, and suggesting his reciprocal tariffs might be coming sooner than the original April 2nd start date. Speaking to media in the Oval Office on Friday, Trump said Canada had been ripping the U.S. off for years on tariffs for lumber and dairy, and that the country was taking advantage of American farmers. These new measures appear to be separate from the reciprocal tariffs Trump says he is planning to move forward with, though there is still some uncertainty around the details. While Canada continues to navigate the developing economic threat, the federal government has launched a more than $6 billion aid package for businesses and workers impacted by the tariffs.
These measures will provide stability to our sectors at a time of great unrest and uncertainty. And more than anything else, they will help keep more workers in their jobs, more businesses running, and more factory floors humming.
Labor Minister Stephen McKinnon also announced the government would be relaxing certain employment insurance rules to assist workers, allowing employers to reduce hours while keeping employees on the front lines with income support during what he called a time of maximum peril.
I think the support that small business owners need is really support just to keep them going at this very moment, especially in light of all the uncertainty that is created. And if the tariff battle does sink in, we are going to need more than a bunch of loan programs and some advice to get through it.
Dan Kelly, president of the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses, says while Trump's new tariffs would be damaging, small businesses will also suffer due to Canada's retaliation.
About 16% of small businesses export to the United States, but almost half import from the United States. So the impact of our tariffs on U.S. goods as a retaliation against the U.S., that's going to hit small businesses first, and that will ultimately have to find its way into consumer pricing too.
Widespread tariffs from the United States would have a devastating impact on Canada's economy, with experts predicting mass layoffs, supply chain disruptions, and price increases across the board. Canada is not the only target of Trump's new policies. Mexico's trade system has also been put in limbo. But Mexico's president said today the country would not be imposing any counter tariffs on the United States.